If we're going to talk about funky music, there has to be a place at the table for Tower of Power. Born over 50 years ago in Oakland, California, Tower brings one of the most unique styles of funk music you'll ever hear. Their music is highly arranged, soulful, driving, precise, and innovative. And one of my all-time favorite grooves will give you whiplash. Released in 1973 on the eponymous Tower of Power album, Soul Vaccination is one of the most unique grooves you'll ever hear. The song at times feels almost like it's in an odd time signature, with accents landing in unexpected places and tons of syncopation. All while maintaining tons of feel and groove. And its concept is built around a rather unusual drum beat. There's no backbeat, no 2 and 4 being played on the snare drum like you would hear in a typical funk style. Tower of Power's drummer, the great Dave Garibaldi, explained, "With Latin music, I remember thinking, there's a serious groove going on, but no drummer pounding out a 2 and 4. So I got the idea to make up some grooves that don't have 2 and 4, but it's a rhythmic pattern. So I started experimenting and came up with stuff like Oakland Stroke on the serious side and Soul Vaccination. They were more like rhythm patterns as opposed to a traditional R&B approach to rhythm." And when we add the great Rocco Prestia's bass line to that drum pattern, you can really start to hear the groove emerge. And you can hear the bass is using one of the oldest and greatest groove techniques to employ. Lock with the bass drum. Now when we add the guitar, it really gets fun. Traditional funk guitar will often emphasize the 1. You can really hear the downbeat come in. But here, the great Bruce Conte is laying into B4, which almost makes Rocco's bass line feel turned around because of those 2/8 notes. If you ever lose the beat, try listening to the vocal. The great Lenny Williams is singing right on beat 1 most of the time. When you get the notion, Tower's got the potion. The entire song stays in 4/4 the whole time, but the accents and the syncopation can trick you into hearing something different. In fact, a ton of the song is based off of this rhythm, which is derivative of the drum part. It's almost like the clave of the song. At various times, we hear the horns play it. It's even joined by the bass and guitar. And astute listeners might even recognize it from another Tower song on the same album, What Is Hip? And the rhythmic game continues into the bridge, which starts on the upbeat of 3 and doesn't continue until the and of 1. And it never stops grooving, including Rocco's variation on the bass line, which we hear later in the track. Here's Rocco's secret sauce. It's not the machine gun 16th notes. It's his articulation and his left hand muting. Those 2 things make everything possible. It's brilliant. Like the group itself, it's a mixture of sounds and rhythms all happening at once, with soul being poured on top of it. And the good news is that this band is still out there playing. Some of the names have changed, but they're still out there touring, so make sure you catch them when they come to your town. On a quick personal note, When I was on the road with Maynard Ferguson, my last few tours included two amazing trumpeters in the band, Adolfo Acosta and Mike Bogart. Now these were great guys and monster players, but my lasting memory of the two of them is how they always talked about how their other dream gig was to play with Tower of Power. I mean, like, we heard this every other day. Not only did both of them end up in the band, Adolfo has been playing lead with Tower for over 20 years. So I'm gonna send this one out to my old friends, Adolfo and Bogey. You guys are my heroes. Go see Tower of Power and make sure you tell Adolfo that PT said, "What's up?"